Australia to go speak at the ERIC conference, right, in Melbourne. And I landed, and like the next day I was like, honey, I just like, man, my stomach hurts. And she's like, oh, well, maybe it's something you ate, on the plane or whatever. I'm like, no, this is not a stomach ache from like food. And I remember we were driving back, her and I, from the gym, and we went over a bump, and I thought my entire stomach was going to explode, right? And I'm like, I think this is more serious, right? I called my buddy who's a doctor, and he's like, you might be having an appendicitis. And I was like, okay, what do I do? And he's like, well, just go to the emergency room and we'll figure it out. And like that afternoon I had surgery, right?
Man.
It was about to totally rupture.
Yeah.
Now remember, I'm supposed to go to Australia.
Yeah.
So I call the guys and I'm like, hey, I don't think it's advisable. The doctors are going to tell me I can't go. But I ended up doing the talk, right? So literally the talk was still like whatever, it's like 4 days later. So like have the surgery, recover, get out of the hospital, I think like basically 24 hours in the hospital. And I remember just being at home and just thinking to myself like, oh my God, like I can't even move, just post-surgery, right? But I'm like, I have to do that talk still. And it was, 5 o'clock at night for Australia for the next day, whatever time zone, and or 6 o'clock at night, whatever it was. And I literally show up and I've got a suit on and then board shorts and flip-flops, right? And I'm live in a studio being presented. It was like me and Donald Trump, and that'll sound controversial for a lot of people, but that's I think it was him at the time.
Yeah.
And I literally went live and frickin' did, I think, one of the best talks of my life to basically like 2,900 people that were halfway around the world, and I was only speaking to a camera lens.
Yeah.
Right? But it was just, I just remember like being suited up, microphone, and I'm like, okay, we gotta go. And I'm like, I've got like stitches, like microscopic, whatever, but like stitches and patches still on me, and I'm all taped up, suit, board shorts, flip-flops, and just did like a super powerful talk. And it just reminds me that, whether it's your finger, or whether it's, your relationship or something that's going on, a surgery, that we always have so much more in us, right? That like unleashing that sort of superpower versus, going into the very easy victim mindset of I can't do it, or I'm not enough at this moment. I can't be at my best. I was thinking like Michael Jordan, right? Had some of his best like playoff championship games when he's like under the flu. They're putting, IV drips in him during the, halftime. Like I think of those moments and I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah. I was young, but I still remember the flu game. Still remember that.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
That was so rad.
Yeah.
Falling into Scottie Pippen's arms. Right. And I forget, he scored like 38 or 42 points and you're thinking, he's Superman. But like everybody's got that in him. You know, it's just tapping into it. It's not buying into the story of I'm sick, I had this issue, that issue, but instead saying, okay, I got to step up. Like for me, for my team, for my family, for the customers I'm dealing with, like step up.